everyone, thanks for checking back into my channel. Today I would like to talk to you about 4 pros and 4 cons of living here in beautiful Chilliwack, British Columbia. The cons are included just to keep us honest. Stay tuned, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future updates. Let's get started. Alright, first things first, the pros. Pro number 1. There are a lot of things to do in Chilliwack. Basically, almost whatever tickles your fancy, Chilliwack likely has it in some form, especially if it is outdoorsy stuff. There are so many hiking trails around here, it's almost ridiculous. They can be basic or lead to some really phenomenal views. I personally love to hike with my cat. I'm a freak, I know, but who isn't? Plus, she's adorable, and she walks as well as any dog, so why not? We've easily done maybe 50 local trails together when it's all added up. If hiking isn't your thing, we also have dirt biking, ATV, golf, mini golf, horseback riding, etc, etc. There are also about 7 ski hills, approximately 2 hours drive from here, so if there's anything specific you might like, take a look, because Chilliwack probably has it. Pro number 2, affordable housing. Compared to some other places in the Lower Mainland, Vancouver, I'm looking at you, Chilliwack has some very affordable housing prices. While the market has changed a lot in recent months, the Chilliwack itself has changed to reflect that. The average home price in September of this year was $719,900, a decrease of about 2.1% in cost from that of last year. The market is still on the slower side, with less home sales, but we do expect that to increase to a more reasonable level once interest rates stabilize and both buyers and sellers have a better sense of the changes that have occurred and how to work them to their benefit. Pro number 3. We have some great restaurants, cafes, that kind of thing around here. Aside from your typical options like Boston Pizza, Pagliotti's, and general fast food joints, you know, your McDonald's, your Burger King, KFC. There are also fantastic options for those who, like me, may have some dietary sensitivities. One of my big ones is gluten intolerance, and so I had to find places that were able to cater to this successfully. A little one called Cerebella's is located on Harvard Place. It's a fantastic little cafe that is entirely gluten-free, nut-free, and for many of their goodies, they can often be considered both dairy-free and vegan. The staff are super friendly, they're outgoing, and more than happy to assist in any way that they can to find an option for you. They also have completely customizable orders for some of those really specific tastes. It's a great place. Highly recommend it. Pro number 4. Chilliwack is so green and lovely. If you're a nature lover like me, then Chilliwack is absolutely the place for you. Within the aforementioned hiking trails, each one offers so much in the way of visual appeal. You can see waterfalls, mountains, mossy green woods, creeks, rock walls, all in the same hike if you choose right. Chilliwack itself is surrounded on all 4 sides by mountains. It's like we're nestled in the perfect spot in the valley. The hikes that I've done, I haven't done anything too extreme, although I would love to, but we've got, we've got Mount Shiam, we've got Elk, like those are like way up there with the pretty scenery, but I've done many of the basic ones, but I haven't found a trail so far that I haven't liked. It's absolutely wonderful, and I wouldn't choose anywhere else to live. Alright, next up, let's talk about some cons, because let's be honest, right? You don't just want to hear the fluffy, lovey-dovey stuff about Chilliwack, you want some of the hard truths too, don't you? So, without further ado, con number 1. Chilliwack can be a little dirty. We are a farming community, after all. The use of manure can make some areas a little stinky, especially in the spring through the summer months. I remember coming down here when I was a little girl, and I always knew when we hit Chilliwack, because the smell would get to me first. Those stinky cows can pack quite a punch. I used to try to hold my breath as I passed through the city. Little 6-year-old me was terribly dramatic, but I never quite managed it. Thankfully, it was only some areas of Chilliwack that catch a good dose of farm stink, and it never lasts long. Plus, you do get used to it, trust me, so it's not so bad. You'll get over it, I promise. We're worth it. Con number 2. Limited road network. we do have a fairly limited traffic situation going on around here, especially if you commute out to the Tri-Cities area or otherwise beyond Abbotsford. If there is an accident or weather event snarling up Highway 1, well, sorry, but good luck. Speaking more or less, there are many roads to the highway, but only one highway. If that road is blocked, you may just have to wait it out or call it a day. We did have a bit of a nasty weather event up here last year, and an atmospheric river closed us off from both Abbotsford and Hope directions for a good few days. Lots of flooding. We do, however, have wonderful work crews that work tirelessly to scoop us out of our watery oasis. We survived. Maybe. Con number 3. Chilliwack has an unfortunately high crime rate. Sad but true. Our crime rate has an elevated percentage of 72.48. This involves things like break-ins, assaults, vandalisms, and theft. While some areas are safer than others, given this reality, it is always best to lock your doors to your home or your car. If you're a single lady, please do your best not to walk alone, especially after dark. Just do your basic safety stuff. Don't take those kinds of risks. It is what it is, and we all have to do our best to stay safe, and that is true of anywhere. Con number 4, short and sweet. Bad transportation, specifically buses. The bus route from Chilliwack to Vancouver really isn't awesome. Sorry. I personally have never taken the bus for such a distance, but I know that makes me fortunate. Not everyone has access to a car, and I don't even want to think about the cost to take a taxi such a horrifying distance. But especially if you commute out to the Tri-Cities area or farther, you may want to reconsider Chilliwack, or at the very least your car situation. It's not great, but by all means, I mean, if you're the person that likes to sit on the bus for a good chunk of your day, just, you know, get lost in a good book or whatever else, I mean, go for it. But it's a long drive. It's a long drive, especially on the bus that, you know, stops every 5 seconds in the city before you even get out to the highway. Yeah, not wonderful. But those are 4 cons. They're, depending on your perspective, they're not so bad. Chilliwack is still great, and I personally think the pros outweigh the cons by a mile. That is, of course, up to you. That's the information I've got for you. Alright, thanks for checking in, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, chatting about a few of these pros and cons. There are many more, probably on either side, than what I talked about, but that would be a really long video, and I don't think you want to hear me talk for that long. I don't even think my cat would want to hear me talk for that long. Even she would resent the sound of my voice. If you think of any questions, any more pros, or even some cons that you would like to discuss with me, let me know in the comments. I'm more than happy to chat with you. Have a lovely day, enjoy the return of the wet weather and the approaching winter season. My favorite. Maybe you can tell. And most importantly, stay safe. See you next time. Subscribe!